I'm Debabrata, and thanks us for setting up the stage for me on this talk. So my talk is on platform engineering powered by Backstage. So we will be seeing a real-life implementation of platform engineering using a tool called Backstage in this talk. So let's start. Who am I? I am Debabrata. I work as a developer relations engineer at Harness, focusing on the product called Internal Developer Portal. As an open source contributor, I have contributed to Kubernetes as a good Samaritan to open source, Chaos Mess as a Linux Foundation mentee, and Backstage, obviously, because we are using the tool to build our own internal developer portal. So Backstage, it was created at Spotify, donated to CNCF in the year 2020. So they say that Backstage is an open platform for building developer portals, which personally, I am not believing in that Backstage is a portal or it's an open platform. I believe that Backstage is a set of tools. Maybe I am opinionated because we do it that way, and we have a platform, and portal is just a single pane of glass to that platform. So let's see how companies do SDLC or how we do a software delivery lifecycle. So every company has a CI/CD, then feature flag and infrastructure management tool. Then they use some shift-left security strategies to have secure builds. Resiliency for resilience testing in production, you want to test what happens when your cluster fails and all those things. You optimize your processes through cloud cost management and people management. And then, at the end of the day, you also try to simplify your developer experience. What I talked about is what we do inside Harness, and I here want you to understand the difference between a platform and a portal. Platform is everything that is encompassed with this, and portal is a single pane of glass that your developer needs to see. Platform is developer intelligent or developer sensitive. As a developer, if I log into my platform, my portal, that will be a different view of the platform than if my manager logs in or my teammates log in. So why do we need this internal developer portal in the first place? Because we have tool for a tool for a tool to solve things. And as a developer, I write good code. I want my code to go to production and do better. I don't want to worry about what happens, my code is failing in the build, where is the logs, and all those things. And because I have personally seen in my company, there is a channel called Help Engineering, and the most tagged team is our build and tools team. This golden pipeline is not working. So this is a manual process because developer doesn't have access to the particular thing that they needs to be worried about. Rather, they have access to everything. And they need to go and see all these things and then find out the issue, which is just, you are wasting your developer resources. So basically, let's understand what a portal could be. As I said, your developer portal is unique. Even if you use Backstage or you use any other developer portal, it has to be very unique to what your company's engineering process is, what you want to optimize, and what exactly your developers want to see. And obviously, it's in the Gartner hype cycle, internal developer portals are at the peak of inflated expectations. And that's why you see this report from Port, 85% of developer or people plan to have a developer portal or know about developer portals, which is good, but how do you implement this? And what exactly do you expect out of a developer portal? So basically, it unifies all your toolings, services, apps, data, and docs. Yes, it also unifies your docs along with your APIs and everything that you call, we call it in Backstage world a software component, and everything is unified in a single place. So I'll show you how that looks in Backstage. So this is Backstage. If you want to access it, just go to demo.backstage.io. You will have. So you could see there are a lot of software components here. So these components are of kind. They could be domain, they could be group, they could be location, they could be system, they could be user. And these APIs are all the APIs. Oh, shit. My security teams wants me to update. OK, yeah. This could also be solved through portals, but yeah, we are not there yet. So you could see there is a whole lot of data that gets populated here, and your service could be a part of this. And once you, let's say, I want to go to any service, let's say go to artist lookup. Oh, yeah. So you see here, this is a service inside my team, or my team owns it. Let's say my team is team A, And you could see there is a graph, dependency graph, which exactly says who is the owner of the team, what do we have dependency on, and what is the forward dependency of my service, which is very important for me to know at any point of time. And then, what Urs talked about in the previous talk, there is a templatized experience. So think about it. People might be coming to you as an infrastructure engineer, platform engineer, telling you, hey, I want this cluster up and running. I want an IAM role. I want et cetera, et cetera. In most of the companies, the thing is you go to your ticketing system, raise a ticket, maybe your manager is tagged, your manager is approving, and then your platform engineer comes, OK, he might, in the back end, run a Terraform script and provision the cluster or the roles or whatever the developers want. But in developer portal, you could have something like this forms, let's say, provide access to Harness. It is very important for new developers, those who are joining Harness, to get access to Harness. The previous practice was to go ahead, create a Jira ticket, tag the SecOps team. Someone will be tagged, and they will provide. But now you have your Harness email ID. You know the Harness account ID that your team is using. Just set the input, and you do the next step. Behind the scenes, we have a pipeline orchestrator that gets triggered, and it automatically notifies your manager that, yeah, this person has requested. Once the manager approves, you have your Harness account access. So what essentially happens when we do all these things is your platform engineer and developer, the tension between them is lower, and each one of them is focusing on what they are supposed to focus on. Your platform engineer could be focused on making this pipeline correct, secure, and adhere to the standards that your company, the security standards or the engineering process is getting followed or not, rather than doing the grunt work. Your developer is happy that he doesn't have to nag to people, go to places. He exactly knows what all the services are, what exactly, he just needs to put the inputs to provision a cluster or do stuffs for him. And that makes it very much convenient, and it's very useful for developers as well. Then, yeah, I talked about, this service catalog. So I have seen this coming up, like people expect the catalog to be doing a miracle, that it can list all your services. But there has to be a source of truth, and the source of truth are YAMLs. You have to write the service definitions in the YAMLs, but once you write it, it's this meta, it's completely meta, and it is fixed for, for your service, and you just go on adding stuff to it. And then, as I said, we have a tool for a tool for a tool. Those could be plugged in as a plugin into Backstage. And the most innovative or the vanilla feature of Backstage is everything is a plugin, including the core features. We call our Backstage implementation as internal developer portal. American Airlines calls it Runway. Even Spotify calls it Backstage. It's something related to music industry. Netflix calls it Broadway. And Backstage gives you that kind of integrations, that kind of extensibility, where you could rip off the whole UI, rip off everything, and get exactly what you need and what you want. Yeah, this I talked about, how to create a new component, and this is what it looks inside of our company. These are the things we have a template for. So yeah, there are two distinct personas. Now, platform engineering has to be the team who builds and operates the portals and treat the developers as end users, and have their lives easier. Both of their lives are easier here. You see, there is a distinct, like in the previous talk, we talked about how everything should have an ownership, and everyone should know what they are doing, and they should do it the efficient way. And this enables you to do that. OK, why Backstage? I have already talked about it so much. So first of all, it's open source. It's a CNCF project. And any day, if there has to be any changes to the developer portal, or there is a standard that has come to the de facto standard, that will first come to Backstage, then any other data model or any other portal or any other tool that claims to be a portal. So Backstage is extensible. It gives you the ownership. It gives you every foundational tools to build a portal. And then it says, it's OK, I have given you, I have enabled you. Now it's your wish what you want to build. And that is not available in, I don't see any other tool doing that except for Backstage. Yeah, so let's culminate of what we talked about from the beginning. What does it does is helps you create a new software, manage the software, and explore the entire ecosystem. I just gave a demo of the software catalog. where from your APIs to docs to everything is there, and you exactly view what is needed to you. And why I am again and again stressing is what exactly is needed you view. Because you see, I have a CI/CD tool. I need to know the logs of my build. That's it. That will be viewed in my Backstage portal. Rest things, if I want to change anything in the pipeline as a developer or as a platform engineer, let me go to the tool, because that is what the tool is supposed to do, and it's a part of the platform, not the portal. Portal is just for viewing and doing the minimal tasks. Yeah, and so this is the surprise that Backstage brings, that customizable, extensible plugin architecture. When I said that even the core features are plugins, yeah, you could bring your own plugins, which could be cloud agnostic and vendor neutral. This whole things make it easier for you to develop and contribute to the developer portal. And it makes it interesting for your developers to be hyped about your portal. They could write their own plugin and ask you to, hey, enable this plugin in our portal, and my team needs to use this. Yeah, so I think this is just culminating what we talked about. Like Backstage is built to be extended, customize your own infrastructure. Yeah, so plugin at the end of the day are NPM packages. You just need to do yarn install, or NPM registry has it, or your own private registry could host those plugin, and you could pull and install this easily. And yeah, then there is this clear-cut boundaries. What if one of the plugins is not working? Your team doesn't own it, your team doesn't develop it, or one of the part of your portal is not functioning, and your team has nothing to do about it. You don't own it, you don't maintain it. It's OK. There are clear-cut boundaries. If something fails, the other thing doesn't fail due to that. And this Backstage plugins is the first thing that we built inside Harness, because our customers came to us and said, hey, we are using Backstage. What do we do about it? We want to see our CI/CD logs inside Backstage, our builds inside Backstage, our enabled feature flags our developer want to see inside Backstage. So we started building these plugins, and then we found, OK, why not use it inside our own? And then we started building on Backstage and started using it on our own. So yeah, I mean, you could take a look on all these plugins. We have built beautiful plugins. You could deep dive into that. And each plugin is a small implementation of the whole Backstage instance.